Welcome into KSR's Rapid Reaction after the Wildcats got back in the win column against Florida A&M, winning 88-68, a 20-point victory that did not cover the spread, but we still learned some new things as Calipari tinkered with the lineup in one of the last non-conference games before it gets really serious in the SEC schedule. I'm here with Jack Pilgrim, Zach Gagan. 66% of us got the message that it was a blackout tonight with those new uniforms, so we were on three. Oh, there's some on three. There's some on three.
Company man, baby.
We're all representing the brand. I'm glad we coordinated there. Kentucky wore their black uniforms, looked good all night. The team didn't look good all night, gave up some things defensively, but we did learn a lot with the new rotations, including Cason Wallace finishing the game strong. He led all scores, almost had a 30-piece, set a new career high, did lots of great things. Frederick got hot again. That's good to see his confidence rolling. Guys, I mean, those two were really the story. Wallace especially, how he kind of took over for Wheeler in that role as a closer.
Yeah, we got a pretty telling quote from Florida A&M's coach, said that he doesn't even have the vocabulary to describe just how good Cason Wallace is and the impact that he makes on the game. 27 points, he was knocking down shots, 10 of 15 shooting overall. I mean, that's exactly what we've been waiting for after struggling the way he did against UCLA, just couldn't hit the broadside of a barn, finally gets rolling. And you love to see the confidence that A, he played with, but B, the confidence that Cal had in him as the primary point guard, which the second most telling quote from Florida A&M's coach said he thought that Kentucky was more effective with Xavier off the floor. First time that we've heard anybody of substance say something publicly, at least among coaches and things like that. So pretty telling quote, I think, with Xavier off the floor to close out the game and Cason kind of having the keys there to close things out.
I did think that was odd that an opposing coach would say that, especially one that hasn't had a great year, but it was interesting to hear it because I think we all saw that. Wheeler with only 20 minutes tonight, I assume that is a season low. We don't know if that's how it would be going forward. Cal didn't get into that too much because he said he was only taking 3 or 4 questions because he had to get in a car.
He didn't say where in the car.
I think we all have to get in a car at some point. I don't plan on sleeping here, but not a lot from him post-game. We did hear through his post-game radio that we were giving up on Chris Livingston at the 4. Earlier this week when he said he was going to tweak the roster, I think we were all hoping we'd see a little bit of small ball, but he went with Lance Ware in that spot. Obviously, it was kind of to reward Lance for how he played against UCLA, but then Cal doubled down that Lance is going to get more for moving forward, and we will never see Livingston at the 3. Zach, I know you're like me, and you've been screaming for Livingston at the 4 too. Are you sad that that dream is dead?
Yes, incredibly sad. But I'll be honest with you, when I came into this game, we all knew that, there was going to be a lineup change. I think a lot of us assumed that Chris Livingston would be involved somehow. I don't think many of us saw Lance Ware also being in that rotation as well as the starting at the 4. So watching that kind of unfold was a little disappointing in the beginning. But I want to go back to Cason for a second because I think he was the engine behind that whole second half, especially in the first maybe 5, 6, 7 minutes. I don't think without him, UK even has a chance, honestly, towards the beginning of this second half. So his ability to just kind of will home points, and I think he even made a 3, and Cal got on him about so just something, minor. So I think Cal's really trying to get him to be that guy. And like you said, Xavier played a season low in minutes, most likely with those 20, but Cal was also trying to throw a lot of things at the wall today. We saw Ugonna and Oscar play down low together as well. So there was a lot of interesting lineups that were going around. Me and Drew also got airdropped a photo as we were sitting here about 10 minutes ago from some gentleman named Noah's iPhone. And he dropped us a picture that, I'll be honest, it could have gone either way with the way I was going to accept it, but
that's all it said. I don't normally accept an airdrop from a stranger, but we went for it, and that was what we were sent.
It's a gamble. It's Russian roulette when you
I had to ask Jack first. I said, do I accept this?
You
and
always accept
thank goodness
strangers' airdrops, always.
Yes. So, yeah, we saw a lot of different lineups tonight. I think Adu even got a little bit of minutes as well. I think CJ said post-game that Adu has been having some minutes at the 5 in practice. So there's some more.
What does that mean? He's a 6'5", 6'6" guard. Why? What are we doing here?
I'm just relaying the information.
No, I'm not saying you. What are you doing here? I'm just saying what are we collectively doing here as a
positionless basketball?
Yes,
that's one way to describe it.
Being kind of the last, hate to say cupcake. Well, I guess you got Louisville ahead. It was important to try a lot of new things. So that's some of why it was closer than it was. It did not need to get down to 7 points in the second half, which is why it was exciting to see Cal try a new rotation to close out the game. And one of those guys really helping out is CJ Frederick getting hot. I mean, he's played pretty poorly here recently, and that was huge. That was huge for his confidence tonight. We're being told we need to leave. Quick thoughts on CJ Frederick. This is twice in 2 games. We're having to end the rapid reaction quickly.
Have we not been doing this for like 2 months now? I'm confused.
I don't know.
Briefly.
Thoughts on CJ Frederick. He's a guy that Kentucky needs. Cal said that if Kentucky wants to kind of live up to its potential and be the winning team that we all expect it to be and hope it can be, CJ Frederick has to be that guy, has to be able to make shots. He did that. Doesn't matter what the competition is. You just got to see the ball fall through the net, and that's exactly what CJ Frederick did today.
For more of our thoughts that apparently we can't get to for whatever reason, and we do this after every game, go to KentuckySportsRadio.com, and we're going to be turned off again.